Hi everyone, welcome back. Today I want to show you something special. Do you know what it is? This little 2-megapixel Minolta camera was my first digital camera I bought 25 years ago. And it's where my photography journey began. A lot has changed since then, not just in cameras, but in how I approach photography. Today, I want to share 6 lessons I've learned over 2 decades of photographing life, travel, and family. These lessons are not just tips, they're wisdom that shaped my style and might inspire you to grow on your own photography journey. Beyond that Minolta, I purchased my first Canon film SLR 22 years ago. It was exciting to have a real camera, but I had a demanding job back then, traveling 5 days, working 100 hours a week. I only used the camera on vacations. Sometimes I didn't even print the photos until a month later. By then, I'd forgotten what techniques I had tried or failed to use for each shot. The result was obvious. My skills didn't improve much until I got my first DSLR years later. Here's the lesson. Don't expect to buy a fancy camera right before a trip and come home with loads of stunning shots. Photography isn't about the gear, it's about practice. Regular practice allows you to learn from your mistakes and grow. Every shot you take, whether good or bad, is a step forward. This practice builds consistency, clarity, and confidence in your craft. 18 years ago, I left behind a 6-digit salary job to do some soul searching. That's when I bought my first DSLR and started traveling the world. I was passionate, but I didn't know what I was doing. I'd see something beautiful, click, and hope for the best. My photo results were purely based on luck. Back then, I thought I was capturing great moments, but looking back now, some of my favorite photos from that time weren't any good. Here's the second wisdom. Your photos are a reflection of who you are, and your best will always evolve. Look at the photos you love, whether they're your own or someone else. What feels like perfection right now might change as you grow, learn, and refine your style. And that's the beauty of photography. It evolves with you. Finding your style is a journey of self-discovery. After 2 years of travel, I decided to focus on portrait photography. Photoshop was the go-to tool back then, but I find it overwhelming. So I chose to photograph children. They had perfect skin and didn't need heavy editing, which suited me pretty well. I attended countless conventions, seminars, and workshops, learning everything from posing techniques to studio lighting. I built a portfolio and photographed hundreds of families and children. But despite meeting so many talented photographers, I struggled to find anyone whose style resonated with me. I didn't like overly posed photos. They felt unnatural. Here's what I learned. Just like it takes time to figure out what you want in life, it takes time to discover your photography style. It's a process of self-discovery. Your style is an extension of who you are. It's what makes your work uniquely yours. And once you find it, the next step is figuring out how to bring it to life consistently. A pivotal moment in my journey came after I met my husband in my late 30s. We're not a super romantic type and give each other chocolate or roses. One of the best gifts, however, I received from my husband was my first tripod. That simple gift opened the door to landscape photography, and I fell in love with it. Landscape photography taught me to slow down, wait for the perfect light, and be fully present in the moment. It also helped me to see the world differently, appreciating the beauty in small details and vast scenes alike. This experience gave me the unique perspective, the ability to combine my skills in portrait and travel photography with the patience and observation I learned from landscapes. It became a defining aspect of my style, capturing people or places as an observer and discovering the extraordinary in the ordinary. Here's the wisdom: explore the unknown and allow yourself to grow. You might discover something that not only enhances your photography, but also transforms how you see the world. While trial and error taught me a lot, I realized I could have saved years by finding a mentor whose photo style truly resonated with me. There are so many ways to take photos. Every photographer has their own approach, but the quickest way to improve isn't to mix and match techniques from everyone. You only end up confused and frustrated. Instead, focus on one approach that aligns with your vision. This is what I call intentional photography. It's about being clear on what you want to capture, setting up your shots efficiently, and being fully present in the moment. A mentor can guide you, shorten your learning curve, and help you stay focused on your unique style and goals. And if you're curious about how to elevate your photography, I'd like to invite you to join my live masterclass, where I'll share the key methods and skills I've developed over the years. Check the description for the details. 7 years ago, I transitioned from DSLR to mirrorless camera. By then, I was a mom traveling with my young kids, documenting our adventures. This was a mature stage of my photography. I knew my style, combining skills from travel, portrait, and landscape photography, and I had developed a refined, intentional approach. This clarity allowed me to photograph quickly and efficiently so my family could enjoy their moments without interruption. And as a photographer, I could immerse myself in the moment, fully present and savoring the joy of creation. Here's the final wisdom. Photography is not just about creating images. It's about who you become along the way. It teaches you to see the world in new ways, to slow down and appreciate details you might have missed, and to grow, not just as a photographer, but as a person. Photography enriches you intellectually, emotionally, and spiritually. It's a journey of growth, and every step adds a new layer of depth to your work and your life. Thank you so much for joining me on this reflection of my photography journey. If these lessons resonate with you, let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear about your journey as well. What you'd like to photograph most, what's your wisdom you'd like to share. Until next time, keep practicing, exploring, and capturing the beauty of the world through your unique lens.